2 years after his service-connected knee injury, a veteran told me his hip suddenly gave out while stepping off a curb. Turns out the changed way he walked, not a new injury, had worn the hip down. That link is exactly what we call secondary service connection. I'm Cameron Burrell. Here's how to build that kind of claim so a rater can follow the chain. This is an educational episode, not individualized legal or medical advice. Check official VA resources or talk to an accredited VSO for case-specific help.
Quick roadmap. We'll define the idea plainly, run through common examples you actually see, dig into what evidence matters, and I'll give you a 1-week checklist you can use to start building the claim.
Put simply, secondary service connection is when a condition the VA already accepts as service-connected causes or makes worse a different, separable condition. Think of it like a chain. Service leads to a service-connected condition, and that condition leads to something else. If you can show that chain, the VA can assign a separate rating for the secondary problem.
Legally, there are 2 ways this usually plays out. Causation, where the first condition directly causes the second, and aggravation, where the first makes a pre-existing condition worse than it would have been. Both are valid, but they need slightly different kinds of proof.
Example 1. A veteran is service-connected for seizures and takes anti-seizure medication. Over time, liver tests start trending up, and imaging shows liver disease. If the medication is a documented cause or contributor, that liver issue can be secondary to the seizure disorder.
Example 2. Chronic knee pain changes a veteran's gait. Years of favoring one leg lead to hip degeneration. I hear this a lot, that altered movement shows up later as a separate problem.
Example 3. Ongoing pain or sleep loss from a service-connected condition contributes to depression or anxiety. When treating notes document that physical symptoms led to worsening mood or function, mental health conditions can be valid secondary claims.
Those patterns matter because they're believable to a rater. Medication side effects, mechanical wear from altered movement, and physical problems leading to mood changes are medically plausible links the VA recognizes when supported by records.
So what evidence actually moves the needle? First, treating records. Clinic notes that document symptoms, medication starts and changes, observations about gait or function, and entries that show progression are gold.
Second, diagnostic tests, imaging, labs, objective measurements that show degeneration or disease progression. Third, lay statements, your statement or from family and coworkers that describe when changes began and how daily life was affected. Those give context a rater can read quickly.
And when records leave a gap, a focused medical nexus opinion helps. That opinion should be plain and specific. Explain how the service-connected condition led to the secondary condition, reference dates, and avoid vague language. You don't always need a specialist letter, but sometimes it's decisive.
A common question: how do you get useful documentation from providers without asking them to write things they won't? Ask for function and chronology. For example, say, could you note how my knee pain has affected my walking and whether I've favored my right leg for the past 5 years? That asks for observable facts, not medical conclusions.
Avoid asking non-clinicians to provide medical nexus opinions. Family and coworkers can write detailed lay statements about what they saw and when, but leave the causation language to clinicians, unless the clinician is qualified and willing to say it. Now, here's a quick trick I use with vets. Make the causal story readable at a glance. Front-load a 1-page timeline. Service entries, when the rated condition began, when function changed, and when the new problem showed up.
Label files plainly. Knee, service-connected, gait changes 2018-2021, right hip imaging 2023, and top it with a 2-sentence cover note. See timeline, pages 1 to 2, gait changes beginning 2018, linked to hip degeneration 2023. That's what a rater can scan in under a minute.
Watch common pitfalls. Don't rely on assumption. I think my hip hurts because of my knee. Without documentation, won't carry a claim.
Avoid big gaps in treatment notes, and don't confuse correlation with causation.
Consider escalating when the link is medically complex, records are missing, or the VA has denied a nexus for lack of specificity. That's the time to work with a VA accredited VSO or request a focused medical nexus from a specialist. If your ability to work is affected, ask about TDIU while you build the secondary claim.
Before we wrap, a 1-week checklist you can complete right now. 1. Pull your service records and VA-rated condition documents and make a simple timeline. 2. Identify the exact change you believe was caused or worsened. 3. Schedule a clinic visit and ask your provider to document functional limits and observable changes tied to your service-connected condition. 4. Write a brief lay statement with dates and examples of how daily life changed. Those 4 steps give you a focused, claim-useful package.
If you want a tool to help, download our free 7-step Veteran Benefits Reset Guide at vetbizmedia.com/veteran7 to organize military, medical, employment, and VA records before you file. And remember, this podcast is educational only, not individualized legal or medical advice. Verify current VA guidance and work with an accredited representative when appropriate. Thank you for listening to the Veteran Benefits Reset Podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with another veteran who could benefit. Download your free 7-step Veteran Benefits Reset Guide at vetbizmedia.com/veteran7. And remember, your service did not expire. Your story is still worth reviewing. Take the next responsible step.
Until next time, stay organized, stay informed, stay ready. Veteran to veteran. Facts over frustration.